we're back with Bobby and JJ Radio. Our first guest is Robin Morton. She was the president of Excellence Mortgage, and over 10 years, she did 2,400 closed loans. She started Cachet Real Estate Finance in 2004. She's been in the mortgage industry for 20 years, and she's one of the top professionals in our team. She has an excellent little shop out right downtown off of Broadway. Robin is known to do a lot of stuff, USDA, FHA, VA, Texas Vet. But today she's going to just tap into or shed light on the 203K loans. Is that correct, Robin?
That's correct.
Thank you so much for being here.
Is it true that you hold a world record for the most 203K loans in a year?
That is not a true statement.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobby's just making up facts just to throw you off here. So in basic terms, we want to know, what is a 203K loan?
A 203K loan is an FHA insured loan that allows you to rehab a property.
Okay.
There's two types of loans under that 203K product. One is a streamline loan, which is what we do.
Okay.
And then there's a full loan. We're going to, I think, focus on the streamline.
Sure, the streamline only. Mm-hmm. And so if your people are out there listening, a streamline means, unlike a 203B FHA, which is just a primary, you're wanting to buy a house, it's a government insured loan, you put 3.5% down. There's this like stepbrother of that loan, which is the 203K. Not the ugly stepbrother, kind of the fancier one, where you actually get a house that will allow you to maybe purchase a home a little bit outdated, and they give you a certain amount of money to go into that home and then renovate it, and then you reset the loan once that renovation is complete. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, great.
So we do a ton of loans, right? We do a ton of business, and we rarely come across this loan, this 203K. Is there a reason why more people don't do it?
I think there's two reasons why more people aren't aware of it. I'm not sure that the home buyers are aware that this program exists, and it's an excellent program when you're using it in conjunction with FHA. And the other reason is I don't think that there's a lot of lenders, mortgage lenders, that specialize in it. Therefore, they're not offering the product.
I think the second is a little bit more true. We get clients coming up to us all the time, and they always mention halfway through the transaction, they're like, what about this renovation loan? And to be honest with you, I'm going to be very honest. With our clients, even we've tried 203K loans with other lenders, and it just didn't work out well. It was a 6-month process. The buyer ended up not wanting to continue further because they were just dragged along through the mud.
And the sellers didn't want to wait that time.
The sellers also did not want to wait that long, you know. And so what ends up happening, you have a mad buyer, you have a over-promising lender, you have a really mad real estate agent or team like ourselves, really mad seller, really bad listing agent. So we just kind of like, we stayed away from them until we met you, and then we realized that they do exist, and if someone knows what they're doing, it's easy to originate them. There's a 30 to 60-day close, just like an FHA loan, and if you have a great contractor that knows what they're doing, then everyone on board can complete the loan that should be happening. So I think that's the second thing that what you were saying is really the most important part. But what is the basic details about the loan? Like, what's the max amount that someone can purchase a 203K loan for or house for?
The maximum loan amount for this particular jurisdiction, the San Antonio jurisdiction, is $332,500.
$332,500. Okay.
The maximum portion of that can be the rehab money is $35,000.
Okay. So someone can get up to $35,000 to renovate a property from as low as, the lowest possible, all the way to $332,500. Okay.
So what are some of the basic qualifications to get the loan? Is there a credit score minimum? Is there a certain down payment, maybe a higher interest rate just for getting this loan?
Under the 203K, and if you're familiar with an FHA loan, they're the exact same qualifications. Credit score is there's no minimum for FHA, but there's a level where maybe the loan won't get approved if it's too low. 3.5% down payment is your FHA minimum down payment. And the interest rate is about 1/8% higher.
Okay, than a
Not
regular
much,
203K.
just
B.
a little.
Okay, so if you're a buyer and if you can get a 203B, so a regular FHA loan, then you can pretty much assume that you can get a 203K.
That's true.
Absolutely. Okay, great.
So if you're just tuning in, we're sitting here with Robin Morton. She is a 203K specialist, best one in town for sure, and she is the owner of Cachet Real Estate Finance. And we're just touching on basic qualifications and who can get this loan. So let me ask you, what's your typical buyer look like? Who gets this loan?
A first-time home buyer that's looking in a older neighborhood where the houses were built with quality but they need a little bit of a facelift.
So we call them Brady Bunch looking homes.
Very much so.
We're talking about avocado countertops. Roland knows what I'm talking about. You have yellow stoves, which I'm sure were really fun when I was a little baby. But
they're coming back.
They are. It's cyclical. I think if you hold them long enough, they'll come back. You just have to leave them in the garage for about 5 more decades.
It's like that shirt you're wearing right now. It's going to come back in style one day, JJ. Hold on to it.
Vintage.
Hold on to it.
Hey, we're all wearing orange, by the way. You're the odd man out.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, because you don't have
I'm
wireless.
trying to be different.
And so how does this loan work? So when do you get the money? How they don't just close the loan and give you this big old check, right? That's not really how it works. Is that correct, Robin?
The process is the same for qualification. This is, and then the overlay is the contractor.
Okay.
So the contractor also has to submit a whole package. Once both of them come together, then you close on the transaction, just like any other house that you close on.
Sure.
And half of the renovation money is funded up front to
In
the
my
contractor
name. Oh, okay.
and the buyer.
I was hoping mine.
So, no, not to the realtor, so that you have the funds to go purchase the materials.
Now, the buyer can't just go to Vegas and put it on red, right? They have. It's going to be in their name and also the contractor's name, correct? So they can't just go, and they really need to have everything up front, and it's going to have to be detail oriented in a very systematic way, submitted properly to the underwriter in order for this to get approved. That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay, and so it's distributed. You said half up front, and then how long do they have to go and get the loan? All this renovation done.
You have 6 months for the renovation work to be completed.
And when does it need to be started by?
Within 30 days of purchasing the property.
If my buyer got a 2 or 3K loan, they can move in, and then they have to start the renovation at least 30 days after they close.
That is correct.
And they have no more than 6 months to get it completed.
That is correct.
So they need a pretty good contractor.
They need a great contractor.
Yeah.
Who
I know one.
Do you? Awesome. Might talk to them a little bit later. Yeah, but there has to be someone that's on point, that knows exactly what they're doing, and it has to be, and there's a variance too, Robin. We were talking about. You're a guru at this, so you're just kind of like dropping as much information on us as possible the other day, and you said that there's a variance too, that people. You may take down a wall and find some other stuff that may come up. So there's a variance that they allow that too, right?
Yes, there's a forced 10% contingency fund.
Okay.
So if you took the full $35,000, $3,500 would be put in the contingency fund.
Okay.
Or escrow account, if you prefer calling it that.
Sure.
For any
stuff. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, we're talking to Robin Morton with Cachet Finance. She's breaking down every single aspect of 203K loans.
Let me ask you, Robin. We're talking about the 2 or 3K loan for purchasing a home. What if I already had a home? Can I use it to renovate a home that I have already?
That's an excellent question. Yes, you can. And it doesn't have to just be for facelift type of cosmetic work. It can also be for weatherization, new windows in an older home. Things that when you've lived in a home long enough, you're like, oh, I wish we could get a new air conditioner.
Sure.
That would help improve our utility bills. And those people that already are in a home looking to refinance can use this program as well.
How about to maybe making the home more green, like solar panels, or updating in that sense? Are you able to use your loan for that?
Yes, you can.
We're going to definitely go over every single aspect of the loan that we can go over. But when you're talking about $35,000 for a facelift, Bobby would need a lot more than that.
I've already said that.
In order for us to transfer from radio to TV, it would be a lot more than $35,000 on that face. I think that would so the 2 or 3K loan would not work in that sense. So anyway, so let's get back to the 2 or 3K loan. So we were talking about this is probably a good time in our market to start using this 2 or 3K. I feel that before, when there was a lot of inventory, you could be a little bit more selective as a buyer. You can go out there and really find the house that's already been renovated. They have all the Brady Bunch has been out and all the new has been in, so the granite countertops already in and the new stainless steel appliances already in. But we're seeing now in the real estate industry, I'm sure you're feeling it as much as we are, that inventory is very low, right? So buyers are out there trying to find a house in their budget, and they can't find anything that's either not habitable, that's about a bad word, but something that's ready to be moved into. Is that what you're finding with your buyers as well in a certain price range?
For those that are doing purchases, yes, we're finding that they're looking in a price range that they feel comfortable with the mortgage payment, and they're finding a lot of older homes, and they're walking in and the kitchen looks like it needs a little help and the bathrooms are dated. And if you can help them as a real estate professional envision an updated kitchen, an updated bathroom,
sure,
all of a sudden they're in the right neighborhood, in the right price range with an updated home.
Yeah, I know you're a big advocate for the loan, and you go and you teach a lot of real estate agents about it, because a lot of real estate agents, and I'm one of them, we stay away from them because it's just the unknown. It's something that we don't really do every day, and so we don't need to put more on our plate and become general contractors on our own or become interior decorators. But you've suggested that if a buyer can't find what's out there already in their price range and in their exact criteria, then it might be a good idea to go out there and have the 203K loan as an option, right? Something that they can go with maybe a really good general contractor and a really good interior designer, pick everything out, make sure that the house is exactly how they're going to want it to be once it's said and done, and then go and start to shop at some better inventory.
I agree. I think that most homeowners that are looking, you might have 50-50 a vision. So if you can lay the pictures in front of them of this is what it looks like now, but let me show you what it could look like,
right,
you'll have a better opportunity of someone who doesn't have as great a vision in their head moving forward with the transaction.
Yeah, and this market is kind of bringing that out. I think we're just running out of inventory to show buyers. Me and Bobby have been in this situation where we have buyers in a certain price range, and they want 10 years old. We can't find anything. Then, okay, let's look 20. Okay, let's look 30. And the thing with the 30 is, like, how energy efficient is it? How ugly is it? I mean, that's not a better word to say, but ugly is it, and then so we have to kind of weed that out. But what was astonishing to me was you were talking about the 203K refinancing. So there's a lot of people that are out there right now that have been in their house for 20 years, maybe 25 years. They can refinance this with this 203K loan as well, correct?
Absolutely.
And so if they want to upgrade their AC maybe, or if they wanted to upgrade their appliances, obviously we're going to talk with Mark Foster later on, and we're going to talk about what really people should be spending their money on. I'm always have a toss-up. I think it should make the houses more energy efficient in the long run and saves them more money as a family. But, of course, for resale value, it's usually kitchens and bathrooms, and we're going to talk about that. But they can get what their existing home, and they kind of renovate it and not have to completely sell it and go buy something else. They can use a 203K loan refinance, which is amazing. And the interest rates are not that bad, correct?
Nope, the interest rates are the same rates as you would get on a 203B on a purchase. Right now, the FHA interest rate is around 3.75%. That's a great rate. If you compare it to a remodeling loan, which a lot of these home buyers can't get because they don't have enough equity.
Sure.
But at 96.5% of what it's worth,
most people
you got
have
a lot
that.
more money.
Yeah, most people have that, yeah.
So I was going to ask you, I know we've talked about using this loan for a buyer and actually for a seller. How about an investor? Can an investor use this 203K?
They cannot.
Okay.
Why not? No, because it's a primary loan. Just like any other FHA loan, it's for primary ownership only. So you have to live in the home. It's not something to flip a house or something as a rental. There's different loans for that, but this is definitely just for primary residence only.
Primary owner-occupied residences.
And so altogether, how much does the refinance take? Is it about the same time?
Yeah, it takes about 45 to 60 days. It takes 30 days once all of the buyer's paperwork is ready and all of the contractor's paperwork is ready.
Gotcha. Robin, thank you so much for diving into that. We're going to come right back and talk to you a little bit more of what stuff you can or cannot do with that type of loan. There's going to be some really important stuff. By the way, there's going to be a spoiler alert. You can't get a pool from scratch. You can renovate a pool, but you can't get one. She's also going to let us know how you're going to give away a value of up to $500 for any listener that's listening right now to Bobby and JJ Radio. So if you missed any of this show, don't cry. Go to BobbyandJJRadio.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Don't move an inch. Don't touch your dial. This is Bobby and JJ Radio.